Lumpy pillow pusher Mike Lindell has taken yet another loss, this time in the form of a warehouse that is way past due on rent. So this is, of course, involved with his MyPillow business. First Industrial had taken MyPillow to court over $217,000 in unpaid rent for one of its Shakopee warehouses. Scott County, Minnesota Chief Judge Carolyn Lennon ruled on Tuesday in favor of the landlord at an eviction hearing after MyPillow was given 4 default notices over their unpaid rent. The Associated Press reported that MyPillow was ordered to immediately vacate the premises. That's right.
Get the out of my house!
That's what they said. Or warehouse, specifically. So now, the Star Tribune reported that MyPillow is currently leasing a second warehouse in Shakopee, although there are questions about whether he'll be able to pay the rent on that one. So who knows? He might get kicked out of that too. It all depends on if he can pay the bills, which it's not looking good. All right. In fact, back in October of last year, Lindell had admitted that MyPillow had been, quote-unquote, decimated by the defamation lawsuits that Dominion Voting Systems and Smartmatic had filed against him, and others who claimed voting machine companies had orchestrated a plot to hand the 2020 presidential election to President Joe Biden. That is a conspiracy theory that has been disproven over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, but he continues to hold on to that and has personally decided to wage a war, a holy war, if you will, against voting machines. Look, I admit that voting machines do have problems, okay? They can have issues where people can get into those machines and possibly tamper with data. That's a possibility. Any machine can be hacked into. The problem with Mike Lindell is that he hasn't proved it. There's no evidence that they were in this election. So it wasn't the, Chinese, the Iranians, the Pomeranians. They didn't get into the machines. There's no evidence of that. And their repeated attempts to try to prove it have come up painfully short. All right? Well, painfully for them. Because you have Mike literally losing his business. In fact, here's what he said. We lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. He also said, I've only got $10,000 to my name. Not good. Now, Sarah Philo, an attorney for MyPillow landlords First Industrial, reportedly said in the court that the company has more or less vacated, but we'd like to do this by the book. At this point, there's a representation that no further payment is going to be made under this lease. So we'd like to go ahead and finding a new tenant. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, Lindell, by the way, getting back to his money problems, is separately having to appeal a $5 million arbitration award that an electrical engineer and software developer, Robert Zaidman, won after accepting the MyPillow's CEO's Prove Mike Wrong challenge, of which he immediately proved Mike wrong. He proved that the data Lindell LLC had provided and represented reflected information from the November 2020 election unequivocally did not reflect November 2020 election data. Failure to pay Mr. Zaidman the $5 million prize was a breach of contract entitling him to recover, the April 2023 decision said. Now, he was allowed to appeal that, of course, but that also might be a problem because he keeps losing lawyers. Now, I was surprised that he still has a legal team, but that appears to be dwindling. In fact, Law and Crime reported that on March 20th, his legal team, Andrew Parker and Alec Beck of Parker Daniels Keyboard, officially withdrew as his counsel. But he is now represented by Thomas Miller, another Minnesota attorney. I'm curious as to how he is paying this lawyer, but because so far he can't pay his rent, can't pay his other lawyers, can't pay the $5 million judgment from the stupid contest. What does he have left? Not much other than conspiracy theories. In fact, he's still out there, though, saying, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I've got God on my side. And you know what? If we end up losing, We still get the rapture. Oh, okay. Yeah. Look, the martyr complex that this man has is off the charts. A good example is what he had said on Monday of this week. And I quote, "I will never shut up. They can take it all. And I've said that. I've spent every dime I've had. I don't have any money left, but I don't have anything less than I had before." So wait, you had no money before? "I had a pickup truck and a house I live in, and that's it. I don't drive around and eat with 2 forks, okay?" Bizarre. Look, I don't know anybody who eats with 2 forks, okay? But he had millions of dollars that he had given to help Donald Trump in the election. So that's one of the reasons that he was introduced to Donald Trump, because people like, hey, this guy looks like kind of an idiot. He's got money though, so we're just going to introduce him to Trump and make him believe that Donald Trump was sent by God. So, that we can convince this guy using his religion to our advantage to give Trump money. So that, we're going to convince him that he is an agent of God. That's how they manipulated this guy. And again, you kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, but at the end of the day, you also don't, because the delusion is incredibly deep. All right? And here's the other thing. With the way that he is going, currently, Mike Lindell is not going to have a pickup truck anymore or a house. Dude's going to be living in a box. And I don't like that idea, honestly. I don't look forward to seeing that. Lindell be stripped of everything that he owns after he loses the defamation lawsuits. I actually don't believe that anybody deserves homelessness and poverty. That said, if anybody is asking for that, it's Mike Lindell, who is, at this moment, destroying his life and his business all for Donald Trump. And it just makes you think, damn, what a waste.